Williams is the future of the NFL, and it's time to get excited. After winning the Heisman in his first full season, 42 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, 4,500 passing yards, we are just 1 year out from him entering the draft and completely changing the fortune of a franchise. It's a pretty bold claim for a guy who's only played 1 full year of college ball, but when you watch Williams on film, it's evident that he's already something extremely special. Here, I'll just show you what I mean. Nobody opens up space in the defense like him. He can create more time in the down with his legs, which is terrifying for defenses since coverages only hold up for about 3 seconds on average. And then with the time he's created, he can stretch you all over the field with his arm strength. Zone coverages in particular, which USC saw a ton of, are really only constructed to last for just a bit. By then, receivers break free, and Caleb is a master at creating time, then ripping you right through your heart deep down the field. Lincoln Riley needs a QB like him to fully unlock his offense, since it requires a quarterback to hold the ball late into the down to allow his complex concepts to unfold and fully stretch the defense. So Caleb is the perfect quarterback to do that. These complex concepts are designed around the principle of creating space by clearing out defenders, then running receivers into that space to produce chunk plays. When Riley understands how the other team is defending his offense, he knows how to attack, but he needs a quarterback who can hold the ball, then bomb teams deep. Utah is playing zone like they have all game, but they're manning up their best receiver, Jordan Addison. Riley has Addison run the defender off with a post route and sends the slot on a 5-yard out route to hold the curl flat defender, which opens up space up the sideline for the deep cross. Caleb is coached to read the cornerback to see if he takes the bait. Boom, he does. And to create that extra time for the backside slot to attack this manufactured open space, he's able to extend with his legs. And his legs are arguably his greatest weapon. But not in the way you might think. He is the best controlled creative college quarterback I have ever seen. While his game might be chaotic, his style is the complete opposite. Yes, he can bob and weave through the pocket, then squirt out and pinpoint a throw 50 yards down the field. But what separates him from some of the other superstar college quarterbacks we've seen is that he's primarily trying to win from the pocket. On 3rd and 15, Utah is showing cover 0, which is straight man coverage, no deep safeties, and the threat of a free runner, while USC is running peel dagger, which is a post wheel up top and a dagger concept to the bottom. Utah drops out almost everybody, but still Caleb gets immediate pressure off the edge, jukes him out, but stays in the pocket and fires a backside dig to convert. With 7 potential pass rushers versus just 6 blockers, he has to be ready for a free runner off the edge, so he's on alert. When they drop him out, he goes from high alert to no alert, but gets immediate pressure, so he's back to high alert. But instead of feeling the pressure and bailing from the pocket, like most scrambling quarterbacks do, he's able to keep his eyes down the field the whole time, literally just feeling the pressure instead of looking at the pressure, which is a rare quality, and missiles in the dig. There are a variety of reasons why it's critical scrambling quarterbacks don't immediately go into scramble mode, and here we see a few of them. With just 20 seconds left in the half, they send their running back in motion, and when nobody follows, Caleb knows it's zone. At the bottom, they're running 2 verticals, and depending on how many deep safeties there are, this receiver will convert his route. Against 1 high safety, he'll stay up the seam, and against 2 high safeties like we see, he'll bend it to attack in between them. This 45-yard seed isn't just impressive for what Caleb does do, but for what he doesn't. Utah is running an ET stunt, which is a smart way to sack a running quarterback while just rushing 4. When the end penetrates inside, most scrambling QBs sense the pressure and start to run, only to be engulfed by the looping D tackle. However, Caleb's first instinct is never to run right away. The stunt is neutralized, and from this angle we can see the incredible raw power he can generate with his arm. His ability to stay in the pocket and use that God-given talent is what makes him the future of the NFL, where he can get through his reads, then throw seeds anywhere all over the field. This is Riley's signature shallow sting concept, which is almost impossible to execute unless your QB creates tons of time. Against zone coverage, the shallow route gets matched on a linebacker or safety, since zone defenders don't cross the formation matching receivers. But it's a route that takes a very long time to develop since the receiver has to sell the shallow first, and based on how the safety plays it, where here he cuts off the angle but then trails the receiver from behind, this makes the throw that much harder. Caleb reads the over-the-ball route, which he'll take if it's open. This also holds the post safety over the middle of the field so he can't shade over the sting route. Then he throws another 45-yard missile up the sideline that gets dropped perfectly into the hands of his receiver with the safety close by. This is once again an example of an ET stunt that doesn't work because Williams is able to stay in the pocket. He is not afraid of taking the hit, he can hang in and make the throw against what's really perfect coverage. And then later in the same game, off the same concept, he executes a different style of throw, showing that he can produce in different environments under adverse conditions. Now they get a linebacker matched on the sting route, but there's much more pressure. Caleb goes through with the play fake, reads the over-the-ball route, but this time has, well, no time to even check sting and just throws it up more to a spot and still hits the open man. Winning from the pocket is something he can do, and that also requires you to get through multiple reads, which he can do that too. With switch verticals up top and a big backside dig coming from the other, Caleb is coached to read 1 to 2 to dig on the backside. He reads 1, holds the safety, gears up to throw to 2, it's not open, then once again slings in the dig. Backside digs are so impressive because the quarterback isn't able to see the coverage, the body's in the middle, he's focused on the frontside concept, then has to process everybody else on the field in the blink of an eye to make an educated guess on that route. One play where he certainly wasn't making a guess at all was the game winner against Oregon State, down 14-10 with a minute 19 left to go. The Beavs are showing this kind of cover 3-ish look with these 3 deep defenders, but switch it up with something exotic and drop the 2 apexes deep as the thirds defenders and have the corners play the flats. USC has a quick out and vertical, and I swear, the Beavs didn't run this coverage the entire game. It's not like Caleb was anticipating that they'd run it again or anything like that at all, but he shows how quick-minded he is mental processing-wise, and because of it, USC wins the game. The moment he sees this funky look with this corner dropping deep, he shifts his eyes to the outside corner, confirms he isn't dropping with the vertical, and without hesitation, which is the key part, hits him right in the beaver. While he is one of the best prospects in the last decade, there are some little hiccups, some things that Riley's offense doesn't have him do that he'll be asked to in the NFL. That's not really uncommon. Every prospect is going to have to do new things at the next level, but it's still important to note it when it pops up on film. Riley's scheme doesn't ask his quarterback to read the safeties at the beginning of the snap, like every NFL offense does, and so Caleb sometimes struggles with processing that part of the field. This is a great concept against 2 high safeties, which Washington State is running, since it puts 2 vertical threats on 1 safety, and in zone coverage like this, forces the linebacker to carry a receiver. When the safety shades towards the first vertical outside, Caleb has tons of time and space in the pocket to wait and let this route develop. But instead of watching the safety, he throws to his read a little too early and forces the ball into an area that is capped. This calls into question his struggles seeing the field at times, where, as we've already highlighted, he can get through his reads rapid fire 1 through 5, but then specifically over the middle at 6'1", he might struggle to see. This is a mesh concept where there are 2 shallow crossers over the middle to stretch out the defense and an over-the-ball route that'll plop down. They get the perfect look here where there are only 2 defenders, 1 for each crosser, which opens up the over-the-ball route. But with Caleb looking right at it, he just doesn't throw it, scrambles, and the ball falls incomplete. The tight angle shows him looking for it, basically staring at it, even cranes his neck like Drew Brees to see over his offensive line, but doesn't throw it, and from there we have some questions. When he's scrambling around, it's almost always because he has to, but at times it's because he's missing a read, which shows that he's not perfect. But the thing is, no prospect is perfect. He still has another year to iron out all the kinks and improve on the very limited aspects of his game that he needs to get better. I always hate hearing that player X or player Y is the next Pat Mahomes. There will never be another Pat Mahomes, but Caleb's style is extremely similar and his talent is through the roof. Game breaker is the term I kept writing in my notes. He is able to hold the ball and extend the play from both inside and outside the pocket, which is rare, and his arm talent is lethal, already putting him in the top 5 at the next level. This year will be easy as hell for him, another moonwalk, but this channel projects guys into the league, and Caleb is already ready to dominate from day 1, even if he came out today. The NFL has officially been put on notice by Caleb Williams. He will be the number 1 overall pick come draft season in a year, and whoever ends up lucky enough to get him will have the best quarterback I have ever scouted.